A long overdue story video. The Master Builder is just like any other builder, except better in every way. He has some crazy inventions that make for some of the most powerful defensive structures in all of Clash, as well as some sort of different laboratory that turns regular troops into even more powerful versions of themselves. The Master Builder was recently discovered 2 years ago on an abandoned island by a hog rider who set sail on his ship, and until now the Master Builder was only able to upgrade a single defense on the regular base, and was rarely ever able to visit our home base. So in today's story, I'm going to explain why all of this is, and how the Master Builder was brought into the world of Clash. Also, before the video starts, if you want to enter my July giveaway for 2 winners of $50 each, then just like the video and then leave a comment down below. A long time ago, before the beginning of Clash of Clans, there were 6 dwarf brothers who were all born a few seconds apart from each other. Their names, in the order of youngest to oldest, were Bashful, Sleepy, Grumpy, Happy, Sneezy, and Bob. The 6 dwarves were born to be builders of the new Clash of Clans village. And since they were the only ones who could build stuff around the village, they were able to charge absurdly high prices in exchange for upgrades and buildings. For example, they would charge over 1 million gold just for a town hall upgrade, or close to 1 million elixir just for an army camp upgrade, where all he would do is put a carrot on top of a campfire. But unfortunately, the builders were the only ones who were capable of doing this at the time, so all the builders were fairly greedy and always charged the highest price possible that they could get away with, which was always a large majority of what the village had. But the villagers didn't hate the builders for this, they were just grateful that the builders were doing their job, regardless of the cost. Now the oldest of the brothers, who was Bob, was always a bit different from his brothers. As the oldest, he was a lot smarter than the rest of his brothers and took advantage of the rest of the builders. The older builder, Bob, always wanted to create a bunch of new defenses and buildings, but his other 5 brothers always voted against him, and since it was always a 5-to-1 vote, he couldn't do anything about it. It always seemed like the other 5 builders gained up against him. And since Bob the Builder wasn't able to create any of his own creations, and instead he had to build the predetermined defenses and buildings that the other 5 builders had agreed upon, he decided that he would just do something else. He decided that he would make sure that the required buildings were built or upgraded, but he himself would not be the ones doing it. He decided that he was going to build himself a little bot or a small assistant to do all of the building for him. So the Master Builder stayed up all night one night and built himself a fully functioning builder bot that would be able to do all of the hard work for him. And he was going to tell all the other villagers about it too. And then once he was done building his builder bot, he immediately put him to work to test it out. It worked just as he had intended. But then in the morning, before all of the villagers and troops were awake, the other 5 builders got up to get ready for their day of work, but then they did notice Bob's the builder's new builder bot. They immediately confronted Bob about this and they asked him what he was going to do with it. And Bob told them, and was very straightforward about it, and said that since he couldn't build his own special buildings and such, that he was just going to put them all out of business with his new builder bot, and he was going to give the village full access to his new builder bot. They told him that he couldn't use his builder bot because if the rest of the villagers found out about it, then they could use the builder bots to replace them, or even put them out of business. And Bob agreed, and he said, exactly what I want. They would no longer be able to charge such high prices for upgrades, and they might not even be able to compete with the bots since they would probably do it for free since they were robots. And they could work forever without sleeping or taking breaks. So they told Bob that he had to get rid of it, but Bob refused. He was already pretty mad that he couldn't use any of his cool, unique creations, so there was no way in heck that they were going to let him take away his little builder bot. He even aggressively told them that they could go screw themselves, and that they're all going to lose their jobs because of this. And since the builders weren't exactly the fighting types of troops, they couldn't physically take it away from the Master Builder, at least while he was there. And even if they could take it away while he wasn't there, he would just be able to make a new one since there was pretty much unlimited resources around them on the Clash of Clans base. So the 5 other builders had to think of something different, and they had to think of it quick, before the rest of the troops woke up. They had to get rid of the builder bot and Bob the Builder before all the other troops woke up and found out about it. So they went over to the wizard's tower and woke him up from his sleep. While the wizard was still waking up and getting over the shock of 5 dwarves standing over his bed, they asked him if he could make them a sleeping potion. They then each offered part of their savings, which was a lot since they were charging such high prices for their upgrades, that they had fortunes and fortunes to offer the wizard. In total, they offered the wizard so much gold that he couldn't say no. He then whipped up a sleeping potion and then gave it to the builders in exchange for the gold. He didn't ask any other questions about what they were going to use it for since he was just focused on the gold. The builders then took it, and then after he gave the builders the sleeping potion, he quickly took a swig of it himself and then went right back to bed. The 5 builders then went back to Bob the Builder and told him that he looked thirsty, and offered him something to drink. Bob innocently said yes please, and then he was unknowingly handed the sleeping potion. Instead of taking a quick sip though, he chugged the whole bottle. Turned out he was dying of thirst and hadn't had anything to drink all night. So right after chugging the whole bottle, he immediately passed out. The 5 builders then dragged him over to the water, and together they all quickly built a boat. In no time they finished the boat since they were all working on it together, and then they loaded the builder onto the boat. They then went back to go grab the builder bot who was just sitting there. They loaded the builder bot onto the boat with the builder, and then Happy volunteered to take them away. So Happy boarded the boat and then set off for sail. He took them to an island decently far away and then unloaded them. He then reprogrammed the builder bot to build a few key structures for Bob when he woke up. So Happy programmed the builder bot and then took the boat back to the home base. And once he got back, he hid the boat in some cave and then went back to the village. When he got back, all the other troops were still asleep. Happy then went and found the other builders and told them what had happened. He dropped them off, had the builder bot build some necessary buildings for Bob and the builder bot when he woke up, and that Bob should be waking up anytime soon. And then the rest of the builders went back to work as if everything was normal. They even gifted the boat to the village chief just to be on his good side. And for the longest time, no one ever seemed to notice that a builder was missing. In fact, everyone got so used to the fact that there was only 5 builders that it was as if there was never even a 6th builder. So life went on per usual for many years at the home village. Meanwhile, over at the other island, Bob the Builder never seemed to wake up, considering he drank an entire bottle of the sleeping potion. Usually that would be enough to knock out an entire army for a day. But Bob ended up laying there, while his little builder bot built a builder hall, a clock tower, a laboratory, all in anticipation for when the builder finally woke up. But Bob just kept sleeping. Days went by at first, and then weeks, and eventually years went by. But by this point, the builder's bot's battery ended up dying and ended up falling over right next to Bob the Builder. Then finally, a few years later, in the summer of 2016, the sleeping potion finally wore off and Bob woke up. And when he woke up, he noticed that there was some sort of builder hall there, and a research lab, and some giant clock building for some reason. But they were all completely destroyed for some reason. It turned out that while he had been sleeping for so long, that all the buildings that the builder bot had completed eroded and had been torn down. And then Bob looked down beside him, and he saw that his little builder bot had completely passed out. He quickly assumed that his battery must have died, and judging by the length of his beard, he assumed that he had been sleeping for a long time. So since Bob had no idea where he was or any idea how he got there, he decided that he may as well start making himself as comfortable as possible. So he got to work repairing his builder hall and repairing all the other broken buildings around his base. And then lucky for Bob, a few days after he woke up, he saw a boat crash on the shores of his island. And from the rubble, he saw a hog rider and his hog. And that there was the beginning of the builder base, where Bob was able to start creating whatever sort of creative defenses he could think of, and where he had access to other unique troops like the Rage Barbarian, the Sneaky Archer, whose stories you can check out. I'll have them linked in the description or by clicking the eye in the top right of the corner. But Bob actually ended up liking it so much at his new island that even though the hog rider was able to show him the way back home, Bob didn't want to leave. In fact, in his new village, he was the boss. He referred to himself as the best builder and even called himself the master builder. He even later created himself a sick battle machine so that he could even join in on some of the fights, so not only would he be a builder, but he would also be a fighting troop. And that there is the story on how the Master Builder was introduced into the world of Clash. In the next story, I will explain how the Builder's broken bot became the brand new auto within the Builder's base, and how and why the Master Builder is now coming back to the Clash of Clans home base, as well as how the Hog Rider ended up becoming the brand new troop called the Hog Glider. Lots of new stories coming out, so make sure you guys do subscribe and stay tuned for those stories. And once this video does hit 2,000 likes, I will post the next part of the story. So make sure to drop a like. Hey, what is going on, you guys? Hopefully you guys did enjoy that video. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead, hop into a live attack on Clash of Clans. And I think in the spirit of the Master Builder's origin story, it's only right that we do a builder base attack. I don't really do this too much other than for the challenges, so that's going to be my excuse if I do really bad in the attack. But anyways, let's go ahead and quickly hop into a battle. I think I do have a challenge I got to complete. I got to destroy some roasters, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and try and pick apart this base here. Normally I just like spam all my troops, but for the sake of today's video, I got to put on Do Not Disturb here. Okay, so for the sake of today's video, I am going to actually try and pick apart this base, see how we can do. So I do need to destroy that roaster, so I guess obviously I'm going to go from the bottom left. I'm going to try and spread out my troops as much as I can, just so that I can avoid any big bombs, and then we're going to go ahead and throw in my battle machine up top. And while those guys go ahead and do their own thing, I just wanted to remind you guys about the giveaway that I am doing. It's for $100 for the month of July, and it is literally the easiest giveaway possible to enter. You literally don't even have to be subscribed. It's really weird. I thought I turned on Do Not Disturb, but I guess it's not working. But like I said, it's the easiest giveaway to enter. Literally, you don't have to be subscribed. All you have to do is like the video and then comment hashtag giveaway and then answer the daily question, whatever I ask. It's so simple. You don't even have to be subscribed, and you can enter like once every video if you want, or you could comment like as long as you answer something different in each video, you can honestly comment and enter multiple times. Really sorry about these post notifications. I don't know why this do not disturb is not working, so I do apologize for that. But anyways, looks like we did get a star, and yeah, not too bad. I mean, wasn't ideal for the amount of thought I put into this attack, but alright. So we got 1 star. We'll see if that is enough to get us the win against this other guy. Let's go ahead and watch that live while we wait. And alright, we already lost. That's a tough look. Alright, so we're not going to go ahead and finish that. That's a little embarrassing. And yeah, since this video is already pretty long, I think I might just end the video here, not do any more attacks. But in part 2 of this story, I will go ahead and do another live attack, and you guys could check that out there. And I am going to be posting part 2 of the Master Builders origin story, which is going to be the Autobot, kind of like the Transformer, but like the Auto Builders bot, whatever you call it. But anyways, that's going to be the next story. It's going to be coming out in literally 24 hours since this video was posted. So either make sure you subscribe, turn on post notifications, or just like check back in 24 hours on my channel and it'll be there. It's going to be a really good story because it's going to be answering a lot more than just the Master Builders origin and then the Autobot story. It's going to be answering like a ton of Clash of Clans related unanswered questions, and a lot about how the Night Village was created in general. So it's going to be really great. Make sure you guys check back for that. Enter the giveaway, comment, like, subscribe, do whatever, and then also have a great day. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.